All right, welcome to our special Back to the Past or Back to the Future Wednesday night shiur. We used to do a Wednesday night religiously for how many years? 4 years? 3 years. 3 years.
Maybe it's going to be reinstated.
And then we had to end it. We moved to Monday night, but I guess Wednesday night. You guys think I'm saying a joke? It's not a joke. I guess it's called back to us. Called back to us. And we're here tonight to speak about special Solat Torah. Crazy pshatim in the parasha. It's Rabotai, this parasha, a person has to get an aliyah in this week's parasha. Every parasha is like a book of Etz HaChaim. Everything is in there. In one sentence over there, in Aliyah Revi'i, I think the fourth one. I think it's actually the biggest one. It has all the Etz HaChaim in one line. Akudim. Yaakov Avinu sees in the dream. He sees goats and sheep. Akudim, Nikudim, Berudim. That's the whole Etz HaChaim. In 3 words. Speckled, spotted, and checkered. And he sees the sulam. He makes nidarim. He sees the ladder. He finds Rachel, his bat zug. He cries for her. Rachel gives the simanim to Leah. They have the shvatim. Yosef HaTzadik is born in Aliyah Shishi, I think. He makes a pact with Lavan. We have the first time in the Torah, Aramaic. Right? Yagar Sahaduta. The Aramaic language inside the Torah.
Oh, wow.
Because
Lavan Arami. He's an Aramanian.
That's what it's
They spoke Aramaic. Aramaic is the closest language to Torah, by the way. To Lashon HaKodesh. By the way, our shiur is Le'il Nishmat Rafael Chai Ben Esther Ruach Hashem Tenicheu Ben Gan Eden. Amen. I was asked this past week a question. I've asked this question a lot. It depends who asked me the question. It depends. If I know a person knows, I know that he could do it, so I don't go easy on him. Person says, listen, there's a mitzvah every Friday to read the whole parasha, Shtayim Mikra, V'Achad Targum. You gotta read the whole parasha twice. The Hebrew, every Friday. Kabbalistically, you could start on every Friday. Kabbalistically, you could start up Pshat on Sunday. Every day you could do one aliyah. Rav Elyashiv, Zecher Tzaglush Livracha, Rav Elyashiv, the great Gedol Hador, he wouldn't finish the whole parasha on Friday. Like the Mekubalim. Every day he would do one aliyah. Sunday he would do the first aliyah. Monday he would do second aliyah. On Friday he would do the 6th and the 7th aliyah. That's it. Some people say, oh, I can't do Shtayim Mikra Targum. The parasha is going upside down for me. I'm reading, 2 times and 1 time, 2 times and 1 time, getting confused. There are ways, to get out of it. You don't have to read, on one day the whole thing. Anyway, somebody asked me, he says, I didn't get this question one time. Do I have to read it in Aramaic, in Targum Onkelos? I said, listen, there is one posek brought on the Yafel Alev that says that you could read it in the language that you say, but we don't really. The Beit Yosef says not to do that, but if a person really cannot otherwise, there is makom la'akeh. Then I said, let's open up the Shulchan Aruch. Let's open it up. Open the Shulchan Aruch. The Mishnah Brura. The Mishnah Brura, the Chafetz Chaim, says like this. Aramaic was given to the Jewish people, halacha leMoshe miSinai. It was given to Am Yisrael. Saying, how do we know? Open up Parashat Vayetze, this week's parasha. Lavan makes a treaty with Yaakov. He's not going to pass his own father-in-law. From here we have a Pitchon Peh. If you have beef with your father-in-law, it's okay. Yaakov also had beef with his father-in-law. It's not the end of the world. So you have over there, Yaakov has beef with Lavan. He didn't take 1 daughter from him. He didn't take 2 daughters from him. 4 girls he took from him. Why? Bilhah and Zilpah were also the daughters of Lavan. They were also the daughters of Lavan. But from a maid. From a concubine. Not from his actual Isha, his actual wife. So Yaakov they make a mound of stones, and Yaakov calls that mound of stones Gal Ed. What's Gal Ed? The mound that's a witness. This is a witness that we're not going to fight each other. Of course, Lavan breaks the treaty the next day. He sends Esav a telegram or a WhatsApp message, and he tells him, listen, Yaakov is coming. How did Esav know to come and meet Yaakov? Suddenly, he's coming, and Esav is coming, V'arba meot ishimo. You know what the Gemara says about that? You think it was 400 men? There was 400 generals. Each general had 400 captains. Every captain had 400 men. This guy was coming to him with an army. La'achrit chas v'shalom. People want to give Esav. Last week, people were telling me this Monday, let's give Esav the benefit of the doubt. Look how he was crying. I said, what crying? Look at the next week's parasha. The guy comes to fight his own brother, 4 wives and a bunch of kids. A bunch of kids with an army the size of Sancherib's army, the Gemara says. Sancherib was the Assyrian king who destroyed the 10 tribes.
Wow.
Reuven, he had this army the size of Sancherib's army. Do you know how Yaakov beat them? He went the back door. The day before, it's also this week's parasha. This is what I'm saying, it's jam-packed. He meets the Samech Mem. He meets Esav Harasha's angel. If you can't beat him down here, you gotta beat him up there. He fights with him until morning. Yaakov defeats the Samech Mem. Mamash, he defeats the Samech Mem. I'm telling you guys a small story, a secret. There was a tzaddik this past month, a couple of weeks ago. So I had a birthday. My wife bought me a gift. She knows I only like books. It's easy to get me something. And Baruch Hashem, we Jewish people, a room full of books is not enough. You need a palace to fill all the Torah that we've written throughout the generations. A palace. So I have actually a story within a story. Not long ago I saw a katava. I say katava.
A dream? No.
Writing?
A scripture? A script?
They made like an interview on the news. This Jewish guy, he lives in Mea She'arim, very religious place. Very religious. I mean, even I'm religious, I call that place religious. My wife was in seminary in Israel. She once walked through that neighborhood. She was wearing a yellow sweater. She said the whole block that I walked, they were staring at me like I came from, and I was an alien. Like, what are you doing coming in here? It's called Mea She'arim. Mea She'arim. It's one of the most religious neighborhoods in the world. Yerushalayim, yeah, Yerushalayim.
Is that the woman walking separate blocks?
I'm not sure. There is someplace like that over here, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, in Square, in New Square. You know the orange juice, New Square. That's where they walk on separate blocks. I was. So there is this old Jew over there. He's maybe 94, 95. He still wakes up every morning, learns Gemara 5 o'clock in the morning, before Netz. In Israel, it's like Florida. It's on the same line in the world, in the equator line as Florida. So the days over there start a bit later. He learns Gemara every morning from 5 to 6. You listen to me? He's 94 years old. Every day, he prays Minyan. He never missed Minyan in his life. I think it's a secret. It's not a secret, really. The Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, I think Kuf Nun Vav or Kuf Nun Bet, says a person who wants to live a long life should pray 3 times a day in a shul. There was one lady. She was so old, people forgot her age. The Gemara said they didn't know how old she was already. She goes to Rabbi Yosef ben Halafta. He was a student of Rabbi Akiva. He was living in that town. She says to him, listen, I can't taste food anymore. The food goes in my mouth. I can't taste it. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I did my job. She tells him. What do you say to a person who asks that from you? You have to be a Tana. Rabbi Yosef, you listening, Gabriel? Tells this lady, Ariel, listening?
Yes.
She says, what mitzvah do you do? Right away, Chacham knows where the life comes from, where the Chaim comes from. You listening? She says to him, everybody hears something for a reason. Nothing is planned, but nothing is coincidental. She tells him every day, I come to shul in the women's section for shacharit, mincha, and aravit. I never miss a day. There's a saying in Bukhari, and I don't know how the saying goes. The earth could open up. Take me. I'm still going to go. Nothing is going to stop me. So he tells her, well, the answer is simple. Stop going to shul. The next week she passed away. The next week she passed away. So this Jew in Mea Sharim every day doesn't miss. Shacharit mincha aravit. So they asked him, what's the secret of his memory? You ask a person 95 years old, what he remembers. He could remember some stuff, but to remember everything, that means he has to have a mind of a shor. So they asked him, what's your sigula? Give us a sigula. We're Sephardic Jews, we like sigulot. So he says, when I got married, I gave myself a word. Every day I'm going to buy myself a new book. Every day. I think I'm exaggerating. You could search this up. I'm telling you. You could search this up. I'm gonna buy myself a new book, and every day I'm gonna learn one page from every book that I buy. They took a picture of his house.
Library.
The guy has like 4 floors. Ask what he works. You're gonna laugh.
Yeah, what does he do?
What does he work? He's a dry cleaner. He does dry cleaning. He has in Yerushalayim Ha'atika. In Yerushalayim Ha'atika, he has 4 floors. You listening? All of the floors, what? Books. His every day, 95 years old, you listening? He goes to his library, his bookstore, you could call it, his library. He takes one book, learns it.
He still buys the books, right?
No, he already stopped. He made hatar. For that, he did hatar. At some point, he stopped that, or else he would have to have the whole Yerushalayim full of books. You understand? Rafael Chai ben Esther, by the way. So, Rabotai, what's the zechut of Torah? We think that life is just, it's passing by. We're just living to pass by. I was just listening to a story about a Belzer Chassid. A Belzer. You could see this actually, it's a true story. You could search it online. On YouTube, they made an interview on him. A Belzer Chassid, he's also 90-something years old. He has I'm afraid to say, I think over 1,000 grandchildren. Or 1,000 great-grandchildren. He lived through the Holocaust. He never cursed the Germans one day of his life. They asked him in the Katava, he's a Belzer Chassid. They asked him, how did you live such a long life? Look at you. You could have your own Chassidut. Over here. You know what he tells them? I never looked to the past. What they did to me. How they did to me. He said, my sister, he said, died in my arms. In the concentration camps, to Auschwitz. He was in Auschwitz. He said, my sister, he said, passed away in my arms. He said, you know what my mother told me when we were in the concentration and when we were in the trains? Because we were breathing our own breaths. They used to breathe. It was so packed in the compartments, they used to breathe their own breaths. My sister died from the suffocation. In my arms, he said. And my mother, he said, I remember. He's a guy who's over 90 years old. He said, I remember what my mother said. She said to me, she looked at her daughter and he was in his arms. And she said, tomorrow I'm with you. Because there was a Rasha, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's one of the greatest killers of the Jewish people. His name, I don't want to say his name really. I'm saying just for the sure purpose. His name was Mengele. Imam Shimon was Yechro. He used to say, who to life, he used to do right, left. Who used to go to the right, who knows what kind of life is waiting for him. Whoever go to the left, Chas v'Shalom, who knows what kind of, he would go straight to the gas chambers. So he said, this Mengele, She knew that she would go to the left. She looked at her son. She said, I'm going tomorrow to meet your sister over there. She knew where she was going. Because you have to survive and look forward. Until the age of 70, he never said his life story to his kids. I don't know, he had 15 kids, 16 kids, whatever the number was. He never said. And his kids said in the interview, never in his life he cursed the people who did that to him and his family. All of his family was the only survivor. I don't want to tell you one of the stories that happened over there in Auschwitz with this Mengele, Yamach Shemo v'Zichro. They were looking for the Belzer Rebbe, one of the Rebbes. They wanted to take this big Hasidic Rebbe's, kill them in front of everyone, to break the Jewish spirit. They couldn't find, so what they used to do, we used to do this to women. They used to tie them to one truck and one hand to another truck, and they used to make the trucks drive in opposite directions. And the person would be ripped apart, literally. That's what kind of brutality. And could you imagine that these days there are people out there that could deny such a thing? There are people out there today that could say these things never happened. That's how important it is to make the spark still alive. You have to keep the fire still alive. That's why, in this week's parasha, Yaakov Avinu has a dream, right? He sees that the ladder. The angels going up and down, Azael, all the angels. After he wakes up, the 12 stones that were surrounding him, he sees they're one stone. What does that mean? I don't know. How? Why did he put those 12 stones around him? To protect himself from animals. Why? Animal is like a goy. A goy only attacks in packs or where he thinks he could win. When he's alone, he never attacks. When he sees some kind of danger, he doesn't attack. So when you put something surrounding, like a fortress, doesn't attack. He wakes up, he sees those 12 stones were turned into one. Why? Famous Midrash. They all wanted to be the pillow where the tzaddik will rest his head. There's a famous Kabbalistic interpretation that in these 12 stones were the nishamot of the 12 Shivatim. The nishamot of the 12 Shivatim. And by sleeping on these 12 stones, he was mivarer. He selected their nitzotzot kedusha from these 12 avanim. Why? Why in an even? Why in a stone? Even in Hebrew is Aleph Bet Nun. That's numerical value 53. Where was Adam Harishon before the sin? Gan Eden. What's Gan? 53. Those 12 neshamot, those nitzotzot kedusha that were in Gan Eden now went inside a even. That's why in Tisha B'Av there is an ancient custom to put a rock under your pillow to sleep. It should be like some sort of discomfort under your pillow. It's a famous thing. Not only in Tisha B'Av. Anytime a person takes upon himself a fast, you could take a small rock or something, put it under his pillow. It's a certain kind of tikkun. From those 12 stones, turn into one. What does he do with that stone, Gabriel? What does he do with it? He makes a neder. He takes some oil. Where did he get that oil? I have no idea. They say Eliphaz came. He didn't just clean him. He did the Italian job on him. He made he took the clothes off his back. What does Yaakov Avinu say? Ki b'makli avarti ta'arad. What's ki b'makli? He was naked. He was just with a stick. Eliphaz left him, his own nephew. He left him naked. That's what they say in the future, in the Galut Esav. Hopefully these days already passed, and probably they did. That Esav Rasha will leave the descendants of Yaakov Avinu naked, without parnasa. What happened in Europe after the Shoah, Spanish Inquisition? What were the Jews left with? Nothing. All their paintings, all their riches. Till today, they're finding the stuff of Jewish people. Till today. What did I cross the Jordan, the river? The Jordan River. What did I pass it with? With a makel. He didn't have a shirt on his back. Eliphaz left him naked. He takes this. Where did he find oil? I have no idea. It says Vayitzok shemen al rosho. He made an oil libation.
Where, on the rock?
On the rock. He takes this rock. Where is this rock? Where did this whole story happen to him, by the way? Where did it happen? In Hara Moriah. It happened at Akedat Yitzchak. Where Akedat Yitzchak happened. That's where it happened. There was a, what's his name? There was Kifisat HaDerech. Gabriel, you listening? Kifisat HaDerech. He takes the Evan, he pours the oil on it, and he says, everything Hashem, listen to me carefully. Guys, listen to me carefully. What did he say? What was his neder? 10%. Everything I do, I'm going to give Hashem 10%. Maaser. From here we learn that in everything that Hashem does for the Jewish people, every mitzvah, you can't test him. Except for what? Maaser. Except for Maaser. Everything, you cannot test the Kadosh Baruch Hu except for Maaser. Maaser. No, Maaser is not tzedakah. Maaser is separate, tzedakah is separate. No, Maaser. What was his Maaser? What was his Maaser? He had to give, he said Maaser Mikol. What's Mikol? From everything. That means even his kids he had to give Maaser. What was the problem though? How are you going to give Maaser from your kids? How many kids he had? No, afterwards when he had them. He had 12, right? Reuven, Shimon. He had 12. How? 13. Dina. No, girls don't count, Jonah. Don't be it. No, don't leave it. I'm not a feminist, I'm not a chauvinist either, or a misogynist. I'm somewhere in the middle. Wait a second. I know you're a tzaddik. You know everything. How did he give maaser from his kids? How do you give maaser from 12 kids? How many kids Yaakov had? 12, yes? Yeah. No. He had 14 kids. You said somebody said 13. He said 13.
No.
Nadab.
He's talking about Ephraim and Menashe.
1-0, the Ariel. 14 he had. Why? What did he say? Ephraim and Menashe, Kiruven v'Shimon, Yuli. No. Wait. Reuven and Shimon is like Ephraim and Menashe is like Reuven and Shimon. How does that work out? Levi, we know, comes out of the minyan. Levi comes out of the minyan. Yosef is split in two. So that becomes 12 again. Right? How Yosef, because he's two kids now. Menashe and Ephraim. Levi is the maaser. How does that work? So you have 14 kids now, right? Because you have 12 plus 2. But we know the halacha is when you have offsprings, things, the first thing that you have, the first offspring goes to who?
The double portion.
To who? No, besides that, goes to the Kohen. It's called Hekdesh. It goes straight to Hashem. He had 4 wives. All 4 of them had 4 firstborns. So we had 14 kids minus 4. Because 4 of them are already Hashem's. They're all Hekdesh. Right? Because they're 4 firstborns. So how many you have left now? 10. How many maasers we need now?
1.
Only 1, because maaser is 1 out of 10. When you had 12, was it an issue? How are you going to give out of 12 kids maaser? You're going to cut 1, take 0.2 out of him? What are you going to do? When you had 14 kids, how are you going to take maaser from them?
No,
but if you have 10 kids, exactly what? How you have 4 firstborns?
How about Ephraim and Menashe? They're not from a...
But Ephraim and Menashe, Kiruven v'Shimon. Only Reuven was the firstborn. Ephraim was like Shimon. Shimon was not the firstborn. There's an answer for everything, Daniel. Don't be too smart. Okay? So, Yeah, so what's his name? So 1 out of 10. Who is the 10th? In this case, Hashem counted who? Levi. Levi. Levi is the Maaser of Hashem. Now, what does this mean? The Rambam says in Hilchot Kehuna that a Levi has no chelek in Am Yisrael. He has no portion with the Jewish people. It seems wicked at first, right? I mean, the Leviim have to be in the front line. Why? The Kohen is a Levi, right? He's from the tribe of Levi. He has the Kohen HaMashiach. He comes, he blows say, who wants to go with the Jews? Who carries the Aron Kodesh into the fight? You take the Aron Kodesh with them. The Leviim, right? They carry the Aron Kodesh. What is this? They fight, they don't get anything?
It's because they get 10%.
The Torah says, Hashem hu nachalato. Hashem says, I'm your portion.
10%, no?
Now, Hashem doesn't say, you're my portion. What does Hashem say? I'm your portion. Look how Hashem comes towards you. He doesn't say, you're mine. I'm yours.
Are you a guarantor?
I'm your portion.
Wow.
I'm your portion. It's a Parashat Shoftim. I had a bar mitzvah parasha not long ago, one kid. He comes actually to the shiurim on Mondays. I taught him Parashat Shoftim. He says, Hashem hu nachalato, asher diber lo, Hashem. Could you imagine if God comes to you and says, I'm yours? Every Levi that exists inside this world has to be jumping from joy just because of who he is. It's unbelievable. Whenever I have a Levi in my class, I'm a teacher. You know how I respect the kid? I tell him, you're a descendant of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe was a Levi, so my brother once made a joke. He says, you could also be a descendant of Korach. Korach was also a Levi, you know what I'm saying? So, a Levi is something... He's a Ma'aser of Hashem, and Hashem is his Ma'aser.
Didn't all Korah's people die?
No, his son stayed alive, right? Mizmor la'asaf, Mizmor livnei Korach. It says in Divrei Yamim, from the sons of Korach, there were Meshorarim, and Balei Nivuah. His sons, Shemuel HaNavi was his great-grandson. Shemuel HaNavi ke Moshe ve'Aaron. Shekulim ke Moshe ve'Aaron. Unbelievable. Now I'm going to tell you the secret of secrets. Something that you may have heard before, but I saw this pshat today. I said I have to share it with you guys. Everyone in this room could be a Levi. Every single one, Hashem could be his nachala. It's not my words. Once somebody asked me, who would be your top 4 Rabbanim?
Wow.
So I told him, number 1, all of Am Yisrael feeds from him. Everyone. Moshe Rabbeinu is the Rabban Shel Yisrael. You okay? But nice catch. But during the Rishonim's time, who's the one from the poskim? Who everyone feeds from? Who? All the Torah comes from who? 70% of the Shulchan Aruch is who?
They just said.
70%? Huh? The Rambam. The Rambam. 70% of the stuff that you do, guys, is the Rambam. 70%. Almost everything is the Rambam. Why? The Rambam was the Mara de Atra. He was the head of the Jewish people before the Shulchan Aruch. Before the Shulchan Aruch.
So why we change some laws?
Why do we change some laws? But you should know one thing. You should know one thing. The Yemenite Jews, they accepted the Rambam on themselves. Right? You know this. Like, that's it. This is what we follow. In fact, some Yemenites used to say a Kaddish. Kaddish. B'chayechon u'b'chayei Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. In the Kaddish, they used to say that. I'm not sure if it was the Baladim or the Sana'at Temani. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure which one. One of them used to say this because the Rambam saved them from Shat Hashmad. Because they were forcefully converted, and the Rambam said, don't worry about it. If you're forcefully converted to Islam, you're still a Jew like everything. You're not even a Mumar. Because Islam believes in one God. They were so happy for that answer that he gave them. It's a famous Igeret called Igeret Teiman. In that Igeret, Rambam gives a date when Mashiach is going to come. Many people don't know. I'm not going to give the date because it passed a long time ago. Yeah, he passed on. In fact, he didn't give a date when Mashiach is going to come. You know what he gave a date for? when the prophecy is going to come back to Am Yisrael, because before Mashiach comes, a prerequisite is that prophecy has to return to Am Yisrael. If prophecy doesn't, he gave a date. The date came out exactly when the Ariyah was born. So many Mekubalim hold that even though prophecy didn't come back in a big way, the Ariyah Kadosh was a part of that. You know what it says, the Rishar Ruach HaKodesh, what the Ariyah Kadosh used to do? He used to come inside a room. He could tell you the Averot you did yesterday, what your Neshama learned in Shamayim the night before, what Torah you have to learn today, what exact part of the world's your Neshama. That's not Ruach Nevuah. It's not pure Ruach Nevuah, but it's a nitzotz from Ruach Nevuah. So he says the Ariyah Kadosh was. The Rav Chaim Vital says Ruach Elokim diberbo. Ruach Elokim. It was like something the world has never seen before. After the Ariyah Kadosh, we haven't seen anybody like that. There's people that were great. They were great tzaddikim, but like the Ariyah Kadosh, we haven't seen anything like that. The Stipler was great. It was one of the greatest tzaddikim. Absolutely. I'm not saying no. But Ruach Nevuah, from the Rambam's date, it came really close to what the Ariyah Kadosh was born over there in that period of time. Anyways, I don't want to digress over here. The Rambam writes something unbelievable about how everyone in this room could be a Levi. Let's listen to his words. Let's internalize it. Let's become one with it. And let's come out tonight with something, not just inspiration. It's a problem with our generation. It's like they call it the iPhone generation. Everything has to be immediate. I'm not going to forget one time I was when I was much, I don't say much younger, but a long time ago.
When the beard was
shorter. When the beard was shorter and less white. And less white. Yeah, I was about to say, it's getting bad, huh? Help me out, guys. So, long time ago, I was inside a room with a couple of young friends, this, that. One of them said, let's go watch an inspirational lecture. What is this, a drug for you? An inspirational lecture. It's like it became like drugs today, you know? You want to be inspired? They send out those clips. You know what I'm saying? Those 1 minute clips, you get your drug. Oh, Hashem is with me. Then the next second, what happens? Back to the surah. So much like a drug. Torah became a drug. Torah is supposed to be a drug. Samachayim. I don't even know it's Samachayim anymore. 1 minute lectures, 2 minute lectures, 3 minute lectures. It's like drugs. Torah is supposed to be inspiring, yes. But you're supposed to take that inspiration with you and internalize it. If you don't internalize it, what happens to you? You're back to the same person who you were. Why do you think we get so inspired from Rosh Hashanah? Why? Because we take that Kabbalah we make on Rosh Hashanah, that acceptance, and we take it to us. We try the whole year. You know what I heard once? Rav Shach. You know Rav Shach? Rav Elazar Man Shach, the great Rosh Hashiva of Ponovich. You know what is Kabbalah on Rosh Hashanah? What he took upon himself? You know what he took upon himself? To read Birkat HaMazon from a Siddur. No, Rav Shach. Rav Shach took that upon himself. That's something small you could take upon yourself for the whole year. It's unbelievable, no? That's true inspiration. But inspiration, I was inside a store and I saw this goy and the goy did this, and suddenly, oh my God, we love the Jewish people. That's inspiration for 30 seconds. After that, you're back to your normal habits. What do you have to be? In fact, I'm happy we said this. What do you have to be? You have to be Shevet Levi. Hashem unachalato. I'm going to read you something how you could be Shevet Levi right now from the Rambam. The one and only Rambam himself. This is in Hilchot Shemitah. So whoever doesn't live in Israel, why should you learn Hilchot Shemitah, right? It's in Hilchot Shemitah. We don't learn Hilchot Shemitah over here in Chutz La'aretz. We should. If we get stuff from Eretz Yisrael, it's from Shemitah here. It's an issue, yes? Yes or no? Yes or no?
It's not 7 years.
Yeah, every 7 years. You're not allowed to throw out produce, right? You take an orange. You bought it from Israel. It was made in the Shemitah year. You can't take the peel and throw it in the garbage.
What do you mean?
It's not Shemitah year that is here. It's Kadosh.
What are you going to do with it?
You have to double bag it, wait till it rots, and then you can throw it away.
Wow. Wait till it rises.
Yes.
Then give it to the boy.
Yes. You can give it to if he eats it. But the thing is that there's many laws, there's many ways they found out of it, this, that. The point is, Helchot Shemitah is very pertainable to people in Eretz Israel. The Chazon Ish, the Stipler's brother-in-law. The Chazon Ish, the Stipler's brother-in-law, you listening, Eliyahu? He fought tooth and nail that farmers in Israel should keep Shemitah. You know what tooth and nail is? You know what kind of tzaddik the Chazon Ish was? He never had kids, by the way. His wife, on the day of his death, she said, I promise you. They said she was a little bit, she wasn't all, On the day of his levaya, she got up on the podium. You know how you say it when we eulogize the dead? How do you say it in Bukhari and in Russian? The hesped. Hebrew is better.
We call it meeting. What's that meeting?
On the day of the hesped, she gets up. She says, "I promise you guys, you didn't know my husband." Who didn't know the Chazon Ish? Ben Gurion. You know Ben Gurion? Everyone makes a new video about him these days. He came back in seance. He this, that. 100 seance he came in. Ben Gurion. She said, my husband, the Chazon Ish, wore this coat. She picked up the coat. The same coat. The day he got married. Till the day he passed away. This was the coat he wore. He never changed his coat in his life. He said, look at it. Same condition as the day he bought it. And that they once say about the Chazon Ish, this is nothing. This story, this is like, this is one of those, don't make a 1 minute clip out of it, right? They once said about him, he once walked out of an elevator, out of some meeting, Agudat Israel, something like that, and there was a mirror. He never looked at himself in the mirror. The Shulchan Aruch says a guy shouldn't look at himself in the mirror. Why? It's Darchei Isha. It's the way of a woman for a guy to look at himself, groom himself, to make himself, oh look, that's what's up. Right? So a guy should not look at himself in the mirror. It's a Shulchan Aruch. It's not even, I'm not saying my own words. This is a Shulchan Aruch. Open up your De'ah, find the Siman over there. But these days, all guys check themselves out in the mirror.
We don't forget how.
Alright, if you don't forget, the Chazon Ish, believe it or not, once was walking out of a conference. There was a mirror, big mirror. He walks out and he sees himself in the mirror. He doesn't know it's him. He looks at himself. He puts his head down like in respect. So they tell him, Rebbe, what are you doing? He said, don't you see that this Chacham, his Tzaddik, this Rebbe, he's over there? He said, Rebbe, it's you. He didn't even know that it was him. He kept the Shulchan Aruch to the letter of the law. This was the Chazon Ish. This is I say Semishki stories. These are ala Garainim. We have to say these stories instead of saying Lashon Hara and the Garainim. When we eat Garainim on Shabbat, we could say these kind of stories. Then you could say inspirational stories, but not like a drug every 5 seconds. Inspiration. Why? Like every drug, inspiration also wears out. After a while, it doesn't work anymore. Huh? In Lashem, we don't do the cutoff. We give it all 1 hour. We put it all in one shot. Anyways, guys, let's read the Rambam says. I don't want to keep you out too late at night. It's almost Chatzot. Velo Shevet Levi Bilvat, says the Rambam. Not only Shevet Levi, Eliyahu. Look at the words of the Rambam. Sifatayim Mishak. Ela kol ish va'ish, every human being, every man. Mikol ba'ei ha'olam. The Rambam weighed every word in the Mishnah Torah. Bekaf mu'oznayim. They say, Daniel, they say that Moshe Rabbeinu, after he finished Yad HaChazakah, came to him and said, Chazak u'baruch. To the Rambam. Kol ish mikol ba'ei olam, from every walks of the world. Asher nadeva rucho, wants to donate his neshama. Ve'vino mada, he wants to understand mada. What's mada? Code word Torah. Science of the Torah. Lehivadel, to be separated, to be kadosh. What does kadosh mean, guys? To be moved up, to be separated. Kadosh doesn't mean holy, that's Latin. We don't follow the Latin translation. Kadosh means to be separated. Well, how do we know? Tamar was sitting, soon we're going to read Pashat Vayeshev, on the side of the road. Yehuda passes her. What does he call her? Kedesha, Kadosh. What, she was holy? She was dressed like a... Right? It's our great-grandmother. We can't say, but what do they call her? Kedesha, Kadosh. What? Kadosh does not mean holy. Kadosh means separate. Kadosh means different. We are Am Kadosh, we're different. Doesn't mean we're all holy. We have to work to be holy. The Latin,
Tahor.
tahor, pure, right? We're not all pure, right? We gotta go to the mikveh every day for that. Side point, the Ari HaKadosh said in Sha'ar Ruach HaKodesh, I didn't find anything better for the neshama, for kedusha v'tahara, ela hamikveh. The mikveh. The mikveh is purity to the neshama. Anyways, la'amod lifnei Hashem, to walk in front of Hashem, l'shareto. Look at his words, Ariel. L'sharto. What's l'sharto? To serve him, just like a Levi. Just like a Levi. You want to serve him today. Rambam lived after the Beit HaMikdash. Le'ovdo, Gavriel. To serve him. Le'de'a et Hashem, to know Hashem. Ve'holech yashar kemo she'asa Elohim, and to be straight. Not like in New York today. ID New York City. You could pick your own gender, this, that. You got to be straight. Today in New York City, mamash, tzedom va'amora. You don't have to open up Parshat Vayera. It's happening over here. You could pick your own gender now. You could pick your own thing. I once saw a video. One guy, he said that he had some kind of spaghetti gender. He was made from spaghetti aliens. He was on the news, and they were forced to write on his ID that he was a spaghetti human being. I'm telling you, this is the truth. I'm serious, 100%. Welcome to New York. Welcome to Edom. Uparak me'ol tzavaro ol ha'cheshbonot harabim asher bikshou bnei adam. And he doesn't want to think about anymore how to have mentions, how to have many zeros, in the bank account. He doesn't want to think about that anymore. He wants to be yashar with Hashem. He wants to be yashar.
Straight.
In Russian, I'm asking. Primoy. I like that. Primoy. Harei ze nitkadesh kodesh kodashim. This man has become kodesh kodashim. What was in kodesh kodashim? The Aron HaKodesh. Who walked inside there? The Kohen HaGadol b'Yom HaKippurim. Ariel, I'm not done. Your wife didn't give birth yet. V'yehe Hashem chelko v'nachalato le'olam al me'olamim. And Hashem will be your Daniel, Hashem will be your nachala. Hashem will be your portion. Who did Hashem say that to? The Leviim. You could be a Levi.
How about the Kohanim?
If you take upon yourself to be a Talmid Chacham and to walk in the ways of Hashem and not to think about materialism every single day, every single second of your life, and you say to yourself, I want to do what Hashem's purpose me in my life, which is every Jew supposed to say, you are a Levi. You are Kodesh HaKodashim. Hashem is your chelek. V'yiskeh lo be'olam hazeh davar hamaspik lo. Don't worry, Hashem is going to take care of you. Just like Hashem gave Levi Ma'aser, Hashem will give you your Ma'aser. Don't worry about it. Hashem has a lot of storehouses of all the matanot hatovot. Kemo shezaka lekohanim leLeviim. Just like he gave the Kohanim the Leviim. Not the Kohanim and the Leviim, the Kohanim, Leviim. They're the same tribe, Daniel.
Right.
Hare David Rav.Shalom Omer. How do we know? David HaMelech. What does it say by David HaMelech? Bnei David, the sons of David. What does he call them in the Torah? HaKohanim. David's sons were Kohanim. But David's sons gave themselves to Talmud Torah until they became like Kohanim. And everyone over here could make Hashem his chelek v'nachala and be zocheh lechayei olam haba, and Hashem will be his nachala. You're not the nachala of Hashem. Hashem is your nachala. Hashem is your portion. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen. Amen.